Good morning! Today is going to be a day in the life video, different to any of the other ones that I've done in the past. This one's not glamorous, this one's not sexy, this one's real, and this one is current. We recently got a puppy. It means I can't leave him for more than 30 minutes at a time, and so this is my life. This is the most realistic day in the life. It's gonna be me on my laptop, it's gonna be me sat here for many hours on different sales calls, team calls, feeding Marley, trying to balance all of this. My life's a little bit crazy right now. It's very boring, but that is a realistic day in the life. So hopefully you enjoy. I'll make it as valuable as I possibly can, and you'll also get to meet Marley, who is the newest addition to the family. Cool. You would have seen from my video a few videos back that I like to journal in the mornings, and my whole morning routine has gone completely to shit. So I don't stretch anymore. I don't go for a walk yet because Marley isn't vaccinated, and so I'm not able to actually take him out. But one thing I do is the journaling, and honestly it gives me that structure in the morning, and it allows me to just clear my head ready for a very busy day, which I find if I was to only do one thing for the rest of my life every single morning, it's going to be journaling. And there is another benefit to that, which is I use ChatGPT so much for all of my thinking now. I think this is going to be such a undervalued skill, and that is just being able to take your thoughts and communicate them without ChatGPT, without that giving you the answers, and then you're not going to lose the ability to write properly, because I see it all the time. Emails have the M dash, and you can see that it's a ChatGPT reply. We've just had a whole interview process because we're hiring right now, and I can see everybody in the trial task has used ChatGPT. Whether you've used it or not, I shouldn't really be able to tell that you've used it, but people become over reliant on it. So yeah, it's just something that I found to be valuable for me in the morning, and also I think it will be valuable. And if you guys want to have a nosy just at what I've been writing about, so as you can see, the format is I always put a date, and then I'll put like a bit of a headline, and then an arrow, and then just the explanation below that. So yesterday I reflected on the day before, which was me meeting up with a friend who I haven't seen in 15 years, which is crazy. And it was just amazing how we could jump back into it. And I spoke about the fact that I was grateful for that. And also he reminded me of something, which was the importance of vibrational energy. So I don't know if you guys are spiritual or not. I don't see this as a spiritual thing anyway. I see this as you are what you attract. And so two people can live in the same city. I think I even write it down here. Two people can live in the same city, and one thinks everyone is friendly and the other one is the opposite. That's because one is friendly and the other is the opposite. Basically, you are what you attract what you are, and so vibrational energy is massive. And then today I spoke about riding it out. Everything is hard before it becomes easy. I think that was a quote from Shakespeare. I can't remember exactly, but it's something that I live by in hard times or times of change, which is right now. I'm not getting a lot of sleep. My routine is completely different. I'm not able to go to the gym as much. I do run in a lot more now as a result, but everything is hard before it is easy, and that is something that has helped me get through any sort of change, difficult time, any adjustment period. And yeah, it allows you to focus on thinking about the positives, becoming excited for being on the other side instead of just wishing your old life back, which any growth is painful, and so to try and wish growth without the pain is pointless. Weather isn't very great at the moment, but this is another part of my routine, which is just to have my protein shake outside, get a bit of sunlight in the eyes, get Marley to hopefully stop biting whatever's outside, and take him for a wee. Welcome to dog dad life. Right, so I've just been planning my day. I'm going to show you how I actually do it. It's going to look like severe autism, but this genuinely helps me so much when I do it in this way. I literally have 7 to 9, in fact, I have almost every hour or block of hours in the day mapped out and what I'll be doing. Now, this is just the way to get the most out of the day, and I don't even think it's debatable, honestly. If you don't plan out your time like this, you won't get as much done. So 7 to 9, I always have needle moving tasks, usually. So it's working on the business. So I've got the team coming on to Manchester on Friday, going to be working on the meetup slides for that. I need to fix the onboarding form. I go to the extent of having my breakfast on this list, because I kid you not, if it's not on this list, I won't do it. I have Feed Marley on the list as well. Outstanding contracts is something that I'm going to do today. Make sure that I call these people, get them over the line. Then we've got a couple of interviews. So I've got an interview at 10, interview at 11:30. As I mentioned, we are hiring. Then we've just got a load of sales calls sandwiched in here, 10:30. There's a few later in the evening as well. And I always try and break up my day with a bit of exercise. And so as we get here, we have a team call. Then I've got run in here, I've got shower, I've got lunch. I literally have every bit of my day planned in here. And then pretty much in the evening, it's more of just calls with potential clients. We've got a follow-up call, sales call, sales call, sales call, dinner in between, of course. And it sounds like overkill, but we're in this period at the moment where we're in a growth phase right now. So between now and the end of September, pretty much, I know my day is just going to be literally like this almost every single day, because we are growing, we're hiring, and it is just a necessary evil. So if I just share even my calendar with you, you can see it's pretty much calls all day today, all day tomorrow, and then it is my birthday on Thursday, team on Friday, and so it makes even today and Tuesday and part of Wednesday even more busy. So yeah, that is the glamorous day in the life of a online agency owner. Just thought I'd get the camera out and show you how I approach making the slides for all of the quarterly team meetings. Now, I'm definitely not the best presenter, and I'm definitely somebody who makes very ugly presentation decks. Like, they're not sexy, I'm just gonna be honest. But I'm quite fortunate in the fact that when I speak to the team, it's always from the heart. It's about what we've learned, it's about how far we've come, it's about the vision, it's about the values, the culture. And so I'm not having to teach anybody anything. So I've got all of this in my head and I know what it is that I want to talk about. And so I just go through and I write everything that I want to say, and then I cross it off and I'll write and I'll make the slides appropriately. And yeah, a million slides, a million GIFs, and I just go through and I explain to people, you know, this is where we were at, this was the story, this was the first sales call, this was me and Jack when we first signed our our very first client, and now we've come to this, team's growing, and now we have team meetings like this, and it's very fun. Go through values, principles, this is where we were, this is where we were last time in our meeting, this is where we are now, and this is everything that we've achieved, this is our North Star, our vision, and I just go through and look, we move so quick, and I think it's important to use this time to reflect really. And so our last meeting as a team in person was 4 months ago, and we just got pages and pages of how far we've come, all of the changes, you know, new website, new logo, new branding, new processes, everything pretty much is unrecognizable now from where we were previously in the best way possible, because we're growing. And I think it's important that everybody understands this progression, right? Because otherwise it's like we're on a never-ending treadmill, on a hamster wheel, and we don't get to see the progress. It doesn't feel like we're climbing upwards, it just feels like we're moving and moving and moving. And I think, yeah, really, it's good to use this as a time to make sure that we all almost reward ourselves. It's a bit of a celebration as well. And yeah, it's definitely not finished. As you can see, I've got a load more slides to do, but yeah, thought I'd share that with you guys. Definitely don't copy me for any presentation advice on how to make sexy slides, because I have no idea how to do that. If you're wondering what I have for breakfast, pretty much the same every single day. Oats, bananas, blueberries, chia seeds. It's my go-to. And whilst I'm eating this, I just want to talk quickly about getting client messages, because you have some clients that are just an absolute blessing to work with. And then you've got some that are more challenging, and that's just the nature of the business. You're dealing with people, it is a people's business. Don't let that affect your entire workday. So we've got a client this morning being quite unreasonable about something. Won't go into the granular specifics of it, but you will always have some people that have unreasonable demands, and that's okay, and it's your job to help navigate that. I mean, when we're dealing with marketing, it is an emotional part of the business, right? You're responsible for so much. You're growing their business, we've got the goals, we're coming up with it together. You know, the good thing is you get to celebrate the wins. The bad thing is when somebody is struggling or feels like they don't have a grip on something, you are the person that they come to for questions. So instead of, you know, feeling a type of way about it and being abrasive and creating just as much friction as they are, you need to try and get on the same side of the table and make sure that you overcome whatever it is. And in this situation this morning, I wish I could share more detail, but it does feel quite unreasonable. Nevertheless, might not be our fault, but it is our problem. He's got my other slipper. Marley, can I have my slipper? Can I have that back, please? Okay, so I have finished my deep work session, the first one of the day. I've done the presentation slides that I was planning to do ahead of the Friday meeting that I've got with the team. Now I'm going to jump in an interview. I've got 3 interviews, and just so you guys understand our hiring process, we always get quite a high volume of applicants because of the way that we actually put out the job post. It's a bit like an ad. We frame it like an ad. We take the lessons that we've learned about running ads to make sure we can get as many people apply for the job as possible. So we had 500 applicants. We then shortlist people, and to be honest, I'm pretty ruthless about whether somebody gets through from stage 1 to stage 2. So if there is anything, any blemish on the CV, any lack of experience, if I don't feel like it lines up 100%, we just won't push them through to the next stage. The next stage is then a trial task. And then for this job in particular, because it's a creative role, I'll go through the trial task submissions and I'll give everybody a rating. Then Key, who heads up our creative, she'll do the same. Then there is a combined rating, and the top 3 are then pushed forward to an interview. So we've got the first one right now with Felix. I'm feeling very good about it. I'm hoping that, it goes as good as it can be, because he absolutely smashed the second stage of the interview process. So I'll take you guys on behind the scenes. You'll get to see what it looks like. And finally, Marley has stopped trying to eat my legs and ankles, which is convenient ahead of the interview. Felix! I am great, thank you. How are you? Just wrapped up the first interview and it went very, very well, and I am hopeful. And I was pleased because I had my fingers and toes crossed that this person was the right fit. It feels like it. Obviously, I still need to do the other interviews, but this person absolutely smashed the trial task. And I would have been so disappointed if we got on an interview and it just didn't feel like the right fit. So I'm hopeful. That's 1 down. I've got another 2 interviews to go. But yeah, it's definitely a good start. So looking forward to getting this role filled. Hello, Resh. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, good, thanks. You?
Yeah, good. So, literally it's back to back. Like I said, it's not a glamorous video. It's, what time is it now? It's 11:30 and I'm already losing my voice. Been on a couple of calls. Just had a sales call. Off the last interview, jumped on a sales call. Now I'm jumping back into another interview. It's going to be 2 out of 3 done. So fingers crossed, this is another good one. It's never easy choosing the right person to join the team, but it is actually worth making sure you ask the right questions. I think more than anything that you are very upfront about what the job looks like in the role, because I've had so many instances where we get somebody who is talented and skilled, but because we're not honest about what it looks like to work with us, the workload, the culture, what we expect, and I just kind of assume that that person is a good fit based on what they tell me, it ends up being more of a lengthy process and a painful process for everybody involved, because it becomes quite clear very quickly that that person isn't the right fit. So yeah, these interviews are very thorough. The hiring process, has been very thorough, but it's the only way to do it if you want to actually have a team of people that you can depend on. So now I'm just going to call a couple of prospects who I've sent a contract to. I think people make the mistake of like sending a contract and then feeling as if that deal is done. That is not the case. Until you are paid and the client is onboarded, they're not a client. Don't treat them as such. Make sure you follow up, because the money is in the follow-ups. And so yeah, you guys watch me now. I'll call some of these leads. Hopefully they answer. But yeah, you want to make sure you get them on board as quickly as you can, so that you can start servicing and helping the client grow as quickly as you can.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person...
No answer. Quick tip, always double dial. Whatever you come across as annoying, you feel annoying, it is annoying, but it just is effective. So you always have to double dial. And then if you get no answer, you text, you email. But hopefully this is my case and I get him pick up. We'll see.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Nope. So I'll text him now. To be honest, like when it comes to sales or anything related to sales, whether it's sales development rep, whether it's actually taking sales calls, whatever, when you're trying to win new business, you have to get out of your own head and think like, is this annoying? Should I be doing this? Should I not be doing that? Just do it. Just do it. Whether it's annoying, whether you have like one person tell you to F off, or you have a deal like fall through because you've been hounding them a little bit too much, it doesn't matter, because the benefits outweigh the cons. There's too many people, especially when you're dealing with business to business. People are busy, right? And so people don't always have a time to check the contract that you sent over, or they don't have time to schedule an onboarding call if you send them a link. You need to make sure you're following up. And if a deal falls through as a result of you being comprehensive and consistent, then it probably would have fallen through anyway, and it wasn't really built on a strong foundation that's going to make a good relationship for you and the client. So moral of the story, follow up, guys, 100%. About to jump into a team call. We always have a 15-minute call. On a Monday, it's extended for me, Key, and Jack to go through client strategy. But I've got a couple of minutes here. Hopefully I can just spend 2 minutes with Marley and not be working. Let's see. First time taking my camera on a run. Luckily it's not a massive camera, it's just some little pocket camera that I can carry around with me. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Got about 30 minutes before I have to be back in time for the puppy before he starts going absolutely crazy. But yeah, all good. Let's get it. Split up the day with a bit of exercise, as I always do. Jesus. They say run at a conversational pace, but on those last few kilometers, almost every single time, you just kind of feel like you need to pick up the pace. You don't even realize you're doing it, but wow, hot today, and that was brutal. So everyone else is probably pretty slow. 5K in just over 30 minutes, 6 minutes and 3 seconds per kilometer. So yeah, just getting back into it. But honestly, if you could see me a few weeks ago, it was even worse. So I'm not going to complain. Whew. Good afternoon. Finally, lunchtime. So I always, just, you know, I never make food only because I see it as a waste of time if you are in control of how much you make, i.e. you have your own business or something like that. So if let's say I cook food, I've got to buy the food, I've got to cook the food, I've then got to wash up. All of that could take an hour. If I was to have an hour's sales call and convert a client, that could be a couple thousand for us per month. And so really, does it make sense to try and save pennies by making your own food, or does it make sense to just order? It makes sense to order. So I'm going to tuck in. I've got 9 minutes before my next call. So yeah, I've got to feed myself, got to feed Marley, and then jump on the next call. I am feeling very, very tired today. Didn't sleep the best last night. But anyway, we jumped straight back into another sales call. So this is the third of the day. I was meant to have one later tonight. That looks like it's going to be cancelled. So yeah, that usually happens, to be fair. And what I was saying before about not being able to get everything done, that's when you can fill the space and get other stuff done that otherwise you didn't think you could. So I'm never too disappointed when one of the sales calls cancels and I've got a full calendar. Okay, so quickly before she jumps on, when somebody doesn't show up, I always follow the same process. I give them 2 minutes, and in 2 minutes I'll send them an email, which is basically, hey, no worries if you're just running a few minutes behind. Here's the meeting link in case it's gotten lost in the inbox. And then literally like 1 minute later, I call them. And then if they don't answer, I call them a second time. They answer, well, this person just answered that second time and they've jumped on and said, oh, sorry, I didn't realize, didn't see the link, blah, blah. Just because somebody doesn't show up straight away doesn't mean they're not interested or they have purposely no-showed. The amount of times we contact somebody after the first few minutes and then they jump on the call and we just have the entire call is more often than not, to be honest. It happened this morning as well. So if you're just waiting there twiddling your thumbs and then like trying to reschedule an hour later after the call, you're definitely wasting your time and you're wasting their time, and it's just a longer process all in all. So yeah, bit of a tip if you don't already know that one. Annoyingly, that person didn't join, which was a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. She did say, I called her, she said she was going to jump on. The annoying thing about that is that you end up just waiting there and kind of twiddling your thumbs waiting for her to join, and she didn't. But it is what it is. Gives me a bit of time to do some more stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna fill the space, and to be honest, usually we try and reschedule, but when they kind of blank you like that and quite clearly like haven't intended to show up and have swerved it, then it's not really worth the time. So yeah, you kind of start to develop a bit of a gut feeling for whether somebody's serious or not. And if they're not, best thing you can do with somebody is just literally draw a line under it and not bother wasting your time following up, because I used to spend so much time following up with people that would like kick the can down the road or claim that they're interested or talk about their problems as if they actually want them solving. But really, if you kind of feel like somebody is just a closed door, there's no point trying to spend your time to pry it open. Just focus on the next deal if you can, and making sure that you get in people that actually want to work with you and that you can actually help and add value to. Last sales call of the day. I am excited for this one, to be fair. It's a good brand. They've got a following, 30k followers on Instagram. They've got good products, which is very, very important. We won't work with somebody that we think doesn't have marketable products. And yeah, the founder seems lovely from what I have exchanged messages on so far. So yeah. So just wrapped up the day is Marley and Lucy. But yeah, long ass day. That last sales call I didn't think went that well, but I think they're going to move forward, which is amazing. Got a follow-up call on Wednesday, and she said she wants to do it. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully getting them on. Like I say, they are a good brand. And hopefully this video shows you that owning your own business and working from home is not as glamorous as it looks. And for me right now, it's not a lot of gym, it's not a lot of movement. It is pretty much 5 sales calls, team calls, and me staying in this kitchen and looking after Marley as much as I can. And that is it. And that wraps up the video.